All right, so speaking of dog aggression, dog aggression is generally either a perception of something going wrong or something going wrong. A dog challenging another dog or a dog thinking another dog's going to challenge. So you're talking about dog aggression on dogs, dog to dog aggression, right? Basically, dog to dog aggression happens when the dogs are not socialized well at a younger age, or they've had a really bad experience at some point. They got eaten, they got bitten on a leash when they were younger. They didn't get their food or whatever. So dog aggression generally is going to be easier to manage with somebody who's in the mix, whether it's a bunch of other dogs or a person who's going to assume control. The first thing I do with dog aggression is I keep the dogs at a distance and I start using structure. So good solid obedience is the key to eliminating dog aggression, right? So if I tell a dog sit, stay, down, whatever, and another dog walks by and he goes to attack him, I'm correcting him not for the aggression, but for breaking my command, right? That's the very, very first step. So once they understand my position in the pack or my position in their lives, they understand they have to listen, okay? Generally, dogs aren't going to be aggressive with somebody who's very strong with them, and I don't mean strong like as far as physically hurting them, but a strong presence in their life. Somebody who's kind of right there, more engaging with them, who handles them with less emotion, if that's one of the issues. But the biggest part I find with dog aggression is when you start getting dogs into a pack, like pack type aggression, it's generally directed at one or so dogs. If you have 5, 6, 7 neutral dogs and you bring one kind of aggressive dog in, the pack's going to settle that out. They're not going to become aggressive to 5 dogs. You're going to pick on one dog and the rest of the pack's going to get back to him. Okay. Generally, that's a good way, like pack play groups, and introducing an aggressive dog into that pack with a muzzle, I would use, is going to teach them, okay, this isn't going to work. I'm not going to get away with it. And then slowly I would take the muzzle off. I don't allow aggression from my place. So I don't believe in letting dogs settle it on their own in the context of, oh, I've got a dog, I'm going to bring another dog into the house. Oh, let them work it out. No, I'm going to work it out. So the first introductions are always, always, always through crates. You know, the new dog, whether he's aggressive or my dog's aggressive, the new dog goes in a crate. The new dog has to start out in a confined, restricted manner. So if my dog tends to be aggressive to other dogs, first of all, that should never be the case. My dog shouldn't be aggressive to other dogs. I should have enough of relationship and structure with my dog that he's not aggressive. And if he is, I shouldn't be bringing another dog in my house anyway. Okay, so let's say the new dog is going to be aggressive in the new environment, which is him really just trying to figure out where he belongs, right? So the first thing I will do with that dog goes in a crate. He can lunge and bark and growl and snap at the crate all he wants. Can't do anything, right? So I don't correct that behavior. If he's in the crate acting like an idiot, what am I going to do, take him out of the crate and kick his ass? No, that makes absolutely no sense. I put him in the crate and I show him that his aggression is dumbfounded because nothing's happening to you. And eventually the dog will see, my dog will circle the crate, will sit around, will do whatever, and will do nothing to the other dog. And if he does, I'll correct my dog. I'll correct the outside dog, okay? Then the second dog will notice, okay, it's been a day, been 2 days, I barked, I lunged, I did everything at this kennel, nothing happened. Then the next thing I'll do is I'll take that dog out on a leash, on a line with a choke chain, and bring him out, do some basics with him. He should focus on me, engage to me, take treats from me, listen to me, do whatever with me. Then the other dog can start coming around. He can sit, and this is all structured. It's a triangle now, right? So there's me, the head of the triangle, or the head of the pyramid, and the two bottoms, the two bases. And they are always focused to me. So now you have to get rid of this idea of this emotional jealousy. So if the dog is saying, okay, well, that's my master, that's my friend, that's my dad, that doesn't happen. You know, I can have my dog and I can play with 6 other dogs, and if I push my dog and go, hey, go over there, he's going to go, okay, cool, I'll wait, because I'm always going to get affection, right? Easy. Then slowly I'll do things like giving a treat, giving a treat, giving a treat, giving a treat. Play a game with one, let that one be done. Play a game with this one. So let them start to see that it's going to all be balanced through me. Then they can start playing together. And I've done this with numerous dogs. You know, I had one dog I rescued that tried to kill my personal dog. Within 7 days, they were chewing bully sticks together and, you know, whatever. It's not hard to fix aggression if you're very neutral and very absolute. I do not tolerate aggression. I don't separate dogs for aggression. It's another big mistake people make in aggression. They say, these two dogs don't get along. You go over there, you go over there. And it usually happens right at the wrong time, which means this dog attacks this dog, and then I take no, and I put him away. So the last thing the aggressive dog remembers is, I was kicking his ass when he took me away. And that's where they pick it up the next time. And the dog that was getting beat up remembers, oh my God, I was getting my ass kicked, and here comes that dog again. I got to kick his ass. This behavior has to be settled before those dogs don't see each other. That means if I'm fighting you and I get taken away, next time I see you, I'm like, oh, you're the guy whose ass I was kicking. Instead, I correct that behavior. No, this is not acceptable. No, it's not acceptable. You'll probably clearly have one dog being aggressive. If they're both aggressive, you've done something wrong. Those are not the two dogs to introduce. If the one dog is showing aggression, you take the dog back, correct him. Sit, no. Let him go again. The next time he does it, the correction is stronger. Until he understands that that behavior will get him killed. And I'm not saying I'm going to kill him, but I'm saying somebody in the shelter is going to kill him. And before I bring my dog to a shelter and have some stranger kill my dog, I'll kill my dog. I'll take it to a vet, hold him in my arms, and put a needle in him and kill him. But I will never do that, because I won't stop when the treats don't work. So this is where positive only fails. This is where positive only fails the dogs, because they say, introduce the dogs at a 40-foot distance, then take it down to 30, then take it down to 20, then redirect your dog with treats. If a dog has a drive for aggression, that drive is stronger than his desire for food, toys, affection, or anything. That has to be met with an equal consequence. And I've dealt with dogs who are human aggressive. If they're human aggressive, that behavior needs to be dealt with an equal consequence. And by the same token, once it's dealt with that consequence, there needs to be a reward and an understanding of that is the behavior I'm looking for, even if it's only a glimpse of it. If only for a minute that dog goes, I go, good, that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to praise you, give you treats or whatever, and then we're going to do it again. And some people call it flooding. Some people call it, overloading the dogs. Doesn't matter. You need to get the dog to understand. I'm not correcting a dog or hurting a dog for not sitting properly. I'm correcting a dog or using physical punishment. There is a degree of physical pain in this, because he will kill that other dog. He will maim that other dog. He will kill a child if a child gets between them. He will disfigure a person if the person is trying to get them two apart. And then he will be killed. Inevitably, aggression will cost a dog his life. And if you in your mind believe that that's acceptable, then you're just not playing in the same league I'm playing in. Because I believe that I'll kill that dog if nothing works. And when nothing works, I'll take him down. I don't want to put that dog in a shelter and clog up a system for a good dog who could have got out of here. So my dog's got to sit here for 7 days. So if your dog is that aggressive and you've gone through all the techniques that you need to do, and you've consulted a behaviorist who's going to use a balanced approach, he's going to correct the dog for doing the wrong thing, and he's going to praise the dog and reward the dog for doing the right thing. If you've done all that and the dog is still aggressive, that dog might need to die. Because nobody wants an aggressive dog. For some reason, it's not the top of the list. Oh, I'm looking for a really aggressive dog, especially if the dog is aggressive, because I got 6 dogs I want to introduce them to. It doesn't happen. Aggressive dogs have a very low likelihood of making it out of a shelter, and human aggressive dogs have a less likelihood of making it out of the shelter. So they need to understand, and if they can learn it through treats, perfect. If they can learn it through positive only, perfect. Because those are the first things I do. The first thing I do is I've got my treat pouch. I've yelled at every one of you guys here because you didn't have a treat pouch. First thing I do is I say, no, here's a treat. Yes, no, yes, no, yes. I'm rewarding you for doing the right thing. I'm only discouraging you from doing the wrong thing. I'm not doing anything yet. But if you don't listen to that treat, now I'm going to give a tug on a leash. Then I'm going to escalate it to a yank on the leash. Then I'm going to escalate it to taking away a little bit of air. Until I can get across to you, that's not acceptable. And I have a library of things I can do to you. Good, bad, or indifferent, I know a lot of techniques to get you to stop doing what you're doing. I'll start at the softest one, and I'll go all the way to the hardest one. And when we get to that last one, I might tell the shelter director, you got to kill this guy. And there's been a couple, I said, just take him in the back and kill him because they can't get out. They're going to hurt a person or they're going to hurt another dog. And I'm not going to lie about it. But it's the smallest percentage. It's a higher percentage when we talk to positive-only people who will not give a dog a correction and then will say, the dog needs to be on Prozac. The dog has a brain tumor, possibly. I talked to somebody on the phone today. They said that they thought the dog had had some kind of a screw loose or something, or behavioral. There was something technical. So I said, well, if he had that, he would bite everybody at all times at whim. This dog would control it. He would let the person bring the dog in, like the husband could bring the dog in, set the dog down, hang out, and the husband would sit in the chair. The dog would run up, start rubbing himself all over the husband, and when the husband tried to get up, he'd nail him and just bite him. That's not a screw loose, that's dominance. That's crystal clear dominance. So I said, first of all, the dog shouldn't go in the husband's lap. The dog should be total obedience. Sit, stay, come. And once he starts getting corrected for not doing those things, he's going to go, oh, hang on a second. If I get corrected for not staying, I'm certainly going to get corrected for biting. And the dog will learn his behaviors all the way down the line. You've got to infuse structure. The key to behavior modification is obedience. If the dog listens to you, if I tell my dog lay down and 6 dogs run around, he knows he's supposed to lay down. I didn't say don't chase the dogs. Don't teach a dog a negative. I mean, with the exception of blocking and saying no, I don't tell a dog, don't bite the other dog. I tell the dog, sit. And if he gets up off that sit, then I correct him. No, I said sit. Because he's disobeying a command and taking it to aggression. Simple. Obedience, obedience, obedience. Yep.
Do you think then doing that obedience, you train the dog in obedience, do you think that will truly extinguish that behavior? Or do you
I don't doubt at all, yeah, absolutely. A dog with solid obedience,
outside of your control, then you give the dog to somebody else, or somebody says, I like that dog.
no, of course not, no. Because a dog is going to, the reason dogs survive is because they find the lowest common denominator. If my dog listens to me and I hand him to you and suddenly you're a pushover and you go, oh, it's okay, oh, that's okay, oh, that's okay, the dog's going to go, okay, screw you, you're weak, I can get away with it here. With me, if your dog is weak and I take him over and I don't let him walk in front of me or do whatever, and he sees another dog and I go, no, he goes, okay, well, I can't even do the little thing here. It's, the Tao says to know the big things and the little things and the little things and the big things. So little mistakes exacerbate onto the big problems. And big problems are made of little details that should be fixed. Piece of cake to fix.
How reliable, if you take a dog and you work on the aggression issues, how reliable is that dog going to be?
In somebody else's hands?
Yeah.
That person has to assume, first of all, the dog needs to understand, like if I work with a client's dog and the dog has aggression, that I'm going to correct the dog, I'm going to correct the dog, I'm going to correct the dog, the client's going to correct the dog. The client then needs to be the next person. If I'm here, the client needs to be here as far as strength.
So you're ranking the dog.
Yeah, the dog has to go to the bottom of the totem pole. I mean, anybody who puts a dog higher than themselves or all this stuff, that's a recipe for disaster. Because a dog's going to go run out into the freeway, he's going to go chase a rattlesnake, he's going to go, try to kill a mongoose or, something. He's going to get really beat up. A raccoon's going to something's going to hurt him. So my dog listens to me, and he's a very happy dog. He sleeps on my bed. He gets the best food. He gets trained and played with every single day, 7 days a week. I buy him more expensive stuff than I buy myself. But it's because he is dependent on me. I'm responsible for him. If it was the other way around, like a lot of people put the dogs in this other position, then the dog is responsible for me. That's sick. Dog can't do it. I'm giving a dog a responsibility they're not capable of dealing with. It's so unfair to dogs. And equally in closing, it's so unfair what positive only people do to dogs in giving these dogs minimal corrections. Okay, so they'll say no, they may block something, but they never tell the dog what he should do. So the idea to this whole concept, this positive only concept, is to say, I want the dog to go on the table. And I wait until he gets near the table. I go, yeah, good. Good. Well, why don't I just lead the dog to the table and help him learn what I want him to do, as opposed to wasting 10, 20, 30, 40 days in trying to get him to get to the table, to touch the table, to go on the table. You know, that's marker training. We use marker training a lot. I love marker training. But I'm going to start marking things. Good boy, yes. He's near the table. Next time, good, go, yes. And then if he starts getting confused, I'll push him into that place. And as soon as he's there, then I'll reward him. I'll flood him with reward. So he knows that's what I want. Next time, he's going to run to the table, you know. But don't beat your dog up emotionally just because you don't want to beat him up physically, you know. Mental stress is a greater risk to a dog and a human being than physical. So, you know, anybody can recover from being beat up, but from being mentally tortured, it's something that's almost impossible to recover from. And anybody who's been through, you know, prisoners of war or anything like that will tell you that the mental anguish far outweighs the physical anguish. Anybody will tell you that. I would much rather, you know, have somebody punch me in the face than somebody to verbally, emotionally abuse me and screw with my head. And positive-only trainers, a lot of times, hurt dogs emotionally because they never provide a solution. There's all these choices, and the dog is so confused. With more choices, more stress. The cortisol levels rise and rise and rise and rise until they spiral out of control, and the dog doesn't know what to do. And I've had plenty of those dogs come to me and had to be, you know, coerced back into compliance and structure and understanding that life is simple. It's black and white. That's all it is. You know, you can't take life for a dog and make it a box of Crayola. It's black or it's white. It's right or it's wrong. It's on or it's off. That's it. That's all they can understand. Don't expect more of them, you know. So, all right, anyway, that's it. Thanks for coming out.